it's Friday, January 15th, and you're watching The Great Last Rewatch. Today we're watching the Season 5 premiere, Because You Left. This is a nobody-centric episode. It's filling us in with what's been going on with everybody. I watched this episode twice, once regular and once with commentary, so I've got a few things to say about the commentary later. Okay, let's hit the ground running. We start off in 1977 with Marvin Candle. We are following him through his day. He's shooting the video for the Arrow station, which we learn in the commentary. Then he gets pulled to the Orchid station because they keep hitting a pocket of energy that is burning up their drill bits, and then they talk about a little bit about time travel, and then we see Dan run into Pierre Chang. Immediately post Flash on the island after Ben turns the donkey wheel, we come back to Locke in the jungle. It's raining. He was standing with all the others, and now he is alone. Sawyer and Juliet are talking on the beach when Bernard and Rose run out and say that everything is gone. The beach camp is gone. They run back to the camp, and Dan continually says it's not gone, and then he finally says it hasn't been built yet. They need to go to the Swan Station, so they trek into the jungle to go to the Swan Station before it happens again, is what he says. We go to Locke, and he is standing on a cliff edge, and he sees the Nigerian plane swoosh over. The Nigerian plane crashes up in the treetops, and Locke starts to climb up to it when he gets shot in the leg by none other than Ethan. We go back to Sawyer and Juliet and company, and they have made it to the Swan site and that it has been blown up. So they know that it's sometime after Oceanic 815 has crashed on the island. Sawyer and Juliet want to go back and warn their future past selves. Dan says they can't do it, though. Locke goes into the Nigerian plane, which is now upside down on the ground the way it was after Boone made it fall down. Richard comes up to him and tells him what he's got to do is fixing his leg wound, and then Alpert gives him the compass and says to get everyone back on the island, Jack, Kate, Saeed, Hurley, Son, Aaron, back on the island. Locke has got to die. Dan decides that he's going to break his own rules and try to talk to Desmond, so he's down and he's pounding on the hatch door. Desmond finally opens the door and says, "Who are you?" And Dan says, "I'm Daniel Faraday. We have met. You have to go to where we met, Oxford, England, and find my mother. Her name is Flash." Back in 2007, Jack is with Ben. Jack shaves off his beard and is asking Ben what they need to do now. Ben explains to him that they need to get everybody together so that they can get back to the island. We go to Kate and Goober watching cartoons on TV, and there's a knock on the door. It's two lawyers. They want a blood sample from Kate and Aaron to determine Kate's relationship to Aaron. Then Kate sends them away. She packs up her bags. She grabs Aaron, and she does what she does best, and she runs. We go to Sun at the airport. She is being stopped. She's brought to a room and locked in, and she's like, "Let me out!" And then he says, "Don't bother trying," and it's Charles Widmore, because they'll only do what I say. And he says, "But you said that we have common interests, and I want to know what our common interests are." And Sun says, "We both want to kill Benjamin Linus." Then we go to Saeed and Hurley going to the safe house. Saeed kicks some ass because there's people there trying to kill them. Hurley gets taken a picture of with a gun, and there's a dead person at the bottom of the balcony, which is going to cause more problems for Hurley. Saeed gets shot with a tranquilizer dart, and Hurley kind of carries him away. The last 2007 bit that we get is Desmond waking up after we see Dan come to him at the Swan Hatch, and Desmond remembers this meeting now and tells Penny that they need to go to Oxford, and it turns out that they're living on a boat. Alright, so the interesting stuff that we get from the commentary of this episode: Sawyer is the voice for the audience, and he's not wearing a shirt. They talk about setting up Juliet and Sawyer's relationship from this point in the series. They told the actors that's where they're going to go, and they've told them to kind of start acting in that direction. They talk about how it's very coincidental that the flashes happen just when our survivors are in dire peril, and it ends up saving them. They mention that the two Locks that we see this season are very different people. Pun intended, I think. This Locke that we see in this episode is still not one with the island, frustrated, sad, angry, yada yada yada. Whereas the Locke that we'll see in the future is one with the island, knows what's going on, very confident. Okay, that's it for me today. Leslie, you're back tomorrow with The Lie. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
And today is also awesome because I got this in the mail. Can you see it? It's my Oceanic 6 CD. Ah! Yay! Put a link in the sidebar to their YouTube channel. They're awesome. Sayid gets hit with a Sayid gets shot with a tranquilizer dart. Sayid gets shot with a tranquilizer dart. Tranquilizer.